Hello guys, welcome back to the multimedia channel, your favorite sports channel, of course. I hope that your day is off to a good start. It's another weekend of the Premier League. If your club didn't win last week, it has another opportunity to win this week. But of course, to some of us whose clubs won last week, congratulations. We're looking forward to more wins, as the season progresses. All right. So I want to thank all of you who are already subscribed to the channel. It means a lot to me. It goes a long way in encouraging me, to keep doing what I'm doing. To those of you who are yet to subscribe, I beg, you see my knees are on the ground, please subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and it shouldn't just end at that. Try to engage, try to like, try to share, and comment as well. So today there are quite a number of updates, as far as it concerns players of the Super Eagles and then the NFF and the rest of them. But before I go right into what we have, I want to talk about the PFA Awards. Tuesday night, of course, it was a night of celebration for some players of the Premier League. Of course, during the Professional Footballers Association Awards, where Phil Foden won the PFA Player of the Year award, while Cole Palmer was actually named the Men's PFA Young Player of the Year. So I don't know if it's just me, but these two awards were well deserved as far as I'm concerned. Phil Foden, if you followed the EPL last season, you would actually discover that he was a major contributor to the successes that Man City recorded as a team last season, and he's such a wonderful player. He's very young and he's committed. So there are just a few players like that who are young and then they are committed. They actually have a clear-cut understanding of why they are playing football, and that is who Phil Foden is. We had the likes of Rodri, his teammate, showering praises on him and how he plays his football. So it was well deserved. And of course, Cole Palmer. Of course, some people were saying Cole Palmer deserved the Player of the Year award, but then of course he got his own award, which is also well deserved. We saw how much he contributed to Chelsea last season. Scoring over 20 goals for the club, providing many assists. I think more than any other player in the club. So he's a really good buy. As a matter of fact, I was saying it that last season, the best player that was signed across EPL is Cole Palmer. Of course, that's my personal opinion. You can disagree, but I feel like Chelsea really made a good choice, and I think Man City will be regretting never letting him go, even though they have a crop of similar players that are really doing well. So in the team of the season, of course, that's during the awards on Tuesday. Notice that it was predominated by players of Arsenal and then Man City. It didn't also come as a surprise for me. So in that team of the season, you had, I think, about 5 players from Arsenal and then 2 or 3 from Man City and then Aston Villa and Liverpool. So you had the likes of David Raya, who is of course the goalkeeper for Arsenal in that team. You have William Saliba and then Gabriel. That's the central back in Arsenal. Those are very wonderful defenders as far as I'm concerned. They already understand themselves, and how to chase after the ball. So you had the 2 of them in that team. You have Declan Rice, of course, another Arsenal player, and then you had Martin Odegaard in that team of the season as well. So going over to Man City, you had Rodri, then Phil Foden, and then Erling Haaland. And then Aston Villa, you had Ole Watkins. And then you also had Walker and then Van Dijk in that team. So I don't know, did it come to you as a surprise, given the fact that the team was predominated by Arsenal and Man City players? You can talk about that in the comment section. So moving forward and talking about players of the Super Eagles, as a matter of fact, it was a fresh start to the season for Victor Boniface and his Bayern Leverkusen side, of course, as they won the German Super Cup sometime this week. He actually opened the scoring in the 11th minute. The game ended 2-2, and then they went to penalties, and then Bayern Leverkusen actually won 4-3 on penalties. As a way of, celebrating, he actually took to his, that's talking about Boniface, he took to his X handle to actually announce a 2 million naira giveaway, to his fans and all of that. So it shows you the kind of person, how magnanimous he is as a player. I keep saying it, he's one player that I really like, his personality. I like his commitment to the game of football, and yeah, so he's a great guy. However, it wasn't also a sweet season for him, because the German Football Association has banned him, for one Pokal match, and then he's also been fined a total of £25,000 for what the association described as his unacceptable conduct after he appeared to show his middle finger, towards players of Stuttgart. That's the team they played against in the Super Cup final, while he ran, past them in a wild celebration. So basically, he was celebrating, and then at the course of the celebration, he did a gesture that the German Football Association has frowned at, and of course has taken a decision. So it's not really a sweet one but I believe strongly that he would come back stronger. The club actually announced the ban and the fan on its Twitter page on that was I think about 2 days ago. That's on Wednesday, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, the club could still do well even without his presence, but then there's a lot that he brings into the team whenever he's around. There's a lot that he brings into the team. All right, so moving forward to the next thing we have, S'Eagles Lookman, could well be on his way to PSG, who, according to reports, have reportedly reached a salary agreement, with the Nigerian forward ahead of a potential transfer from Atalanta. So it is expected that before this season's transfer window ends, he would have joined PSG, except anything happens along the line. But Lookman is one player that every club, as far as I'm concerned, would be willing to have. His strength, his determination, and his goal scoring techniques are really, really out of this world. So we'll just wait and see how that goes. I mean, I know that it will depend on how much that PSG is willing to offer. I mean, Atlanta will be willing to let him go, but that at some point it appeared as though he was coming back to England, with quite a number of clubs indicating interest. But we'll see how that goes, because it's not settled yet. Moving on to the next thing we have to talk about, Arsenal have actually reportedly re-entered the race to sign Victor Osimhen from Napoli, of course, before the summer transfer window closes. Recall that after he asked to leave Napoli, PSG actually led the race to sign him, only to end talks with the club last month, because of course they said they were unwilling to meet Napoli's asking price. I mean, it was too much. The price tag on him was really too much, and PSG wasn't willing to pay that. Chelsea have also indicated interest. We just have to wait till deadline day and then see where he finally goes to. But the fact is that he needs to go to a place where he would get regular team play, because that's what matters a lot for him at this very stage in his career. So moving on, the Nigerian Football Federation, that's talking about NFF, has said it is looking to bring in a local coach on an interim basis, for the Super Eagles. The coach is expected to take charge of the national team, for the next 2025 AFCON qualifiers in September. We'll see how that goes. Really, this whole question around a new coach is getting out of hand. I keep wondering why it's taking a lot of time for them to, bring in a new person. But then if it's the fact that they're trying to be careful, then it's okay. But if it's the fact that politics is creeping in and then destroying the whole system, then it doesn't make sense, because of course the Super Eagles have quite a number of matches to play in the coming months, and it wouldn't make sense that we play these matches, or that they prepare for these matches, and then there's yet no coach who would give them a sense of direction. So moving on, the Super Eagles will open the camp for the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers against the Benin Republic and Rwanda, on Sunday, September 1st. Ahead of the first game against Benin Republic comes up on September 7th. So 3 days after that match, they play Rwanda, September 10th. So we'll just wait and see how that goes. The fact is that Nigeria has about the best players on the continent of Africa. So I see us winning the AFCON this time, even though we got to the finals last time. But we really have to prepare, deal with this whole question around the search for a new coach. Make sure that those who get to feature in matches are people who really, really deserve to be there, not people who are the highest bidders or people who pay the highest money. Yeah, but then we'll see how it goes. That is all we have today. As far as it concerns updates, as usual, I want you to drop your comments, on the comment section. Are you excited about the prospect of Ademola Lookman actually going to PSG? Do you think he would do exploits like he did in Atlanta? Where do you see Victor Osimhen landing, at the end of deadline day? Do you see him going to Arsenal? Do you see him going to Chelsea? Or do you see him remaining at Napoli? Just share those thoughts on, the comment section. Thank you always for watching. Bye for now.